Hey guys, this is Rod at Dragonwing Den. It's been a while since I've posted a video. Just had a lot of stuff going on. But we'll go ahead and try to keep getting some videos out when we can. There's not much been going on in the scene in San Antonio lately. There's only a couple of us playing still, and the stores aren't really, it's not worth it for them to carry the OPs anymore down here, so we've been missing the OP creatures like the Nightmare. Haven't got that yet. Haven't got the new Demon. I guess I could eBay it, but I haven't, so like different priorities at the moment. Um, but this is actually, I do have a game to put up right now. This is actually a game that what was I going to say? We played this last month actually, and I've just been doing other stuff and haven't gotten around to it. But hopefully, we'll get games out a little quicker again. Everyone's sort of Jay and Jeremy are getting back into the mix too, so should have a few more games to put up. This one was a format that Jeremy suggested. He suggested we just play 200 points, and I make both the list, and then he picked which list that he wanted to play. So, hopefully it occurred to me to make a balanced list. I also thought it would be a good opportunity to use creatures and characters that we don't see a lot, don't get a lot of play, maybe are not necessarily that great in my or other people's opinions. But so I sort of tried to do a couple of lists that, some of the creatures are pretty, are more or less staples, but I also tried to go off the beaten path and also tried to play a couple of upgrades that are different that you don't see a lot of. Arguably, there are reasons you don't see a lot of some of these upgrades, and I'll discuss that when I break down the lists. So let's go ahead and do that right here. Okay, here's the list I played. First creature is Umbrelus, the Black Shadow Dragon. She's got Draconic Nature, which gives her immunity to sleep and paralysis, and also the ability to, I think, use an action to remove a time token from an effect token that's affecting her. And the other team does have some effect tokens, so I thought maybe that would see some use. She's got her Shadow Breath Weapon, and Necrotic Oppression, her Breath Weapon kicker. When she damages with her Breath Weapon, she can disable an upgrade on the creature she damages. That's one of my favorite of the Breath Weapon kickers. And she's got Ray of Sickness, which is kind of a debuff spell, -1 attack and defense dice if it hits. I was trying to do a debuff maybe theme with this list. Normally with Umbrella, she would play her special artifact, the Ebon Cloak, which she can equip in any slot, and enables her to, gives her the benefit of being in darkness all the time. She can faint without taking an exhaustion. You see that all the time, and at first I was thinking, when I made the list, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll try something different. But given that, it's not likely we'll see Umbrellas much again on this channel, maybe I should have given her the chance and played the classic Umbrellas build. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Next, I've got the Green Dragon, Cloud Gilliamatar. She's got her Poison Breath, and Toxic Affliction is her Breath Weapon kicker. When she damages a target, she can give it this Toxic Affliction, which is -1 attack and -1 defense die, so that's another similar debuff. She's got the spell Lightning Bolt. It's a range 4, 3 dice penetrating attack that requires a concentrate token to cast, and she does not actually have a concentrate action, which I missed and ended up using it illegally in the game. Fortunately, it didn't hit anything, so in a way that's, karmically appropriate. I really do wish all the arcane spells were target. I'm not totally sure why they're not, but anyway, that's how it is. She has also got Dispel Magic, which can remove an effect token from a friendly or enemy creature. Again, there's some effect tokens on the other side of the field. Just thought I'd see if this ended up having an effect or not. Next, I've got Nidogrim, the adult white dragon. He's got Cold Breath, of course. He's got Vicious, which he can discard when he hits someone with I think the primary weapon, or maybe any weapon, to disable an upgrade on that creature. And that's a white dragon only. He's got a Primal Hunter, which is when he hits with a bite, I believe, or maybe any primary weapon, he can disable Primal Hunter to turn a blank, turn a dodge result on the defender's dodge dice into a blank result. And that's also White Dragon. Those are a couple of White Dragon only upgrades that I think would be neat to try on Arvaetrys, but usually I've got a pretty standard Arvaetrys close quarters evil sorcerer build that's hard to resist, but maybe I'll try branching out one of these days. He's also got Stone Skin, which is a defensive spell we don't see very often. It gives minuses to a primary weapon attack. I think there's situations where it could be handy. We'll see how it goes. See if I want to try it again sometime. Finally, we've got Blackthorn the Wyvern, who I've tried before, and I've never seemed to play this guy to the best of his abilities. And spoiler alert, I don't think I did a great job with him in this game. Of course, he might not have had that great of an opportunity in this game. He's got his Stinger, which makes his tail attack a poison attack, and Deadly Venom enables his tail attack when he attacks with the Stinger to deal extra damage over time. It can either deal face-down damage cards, or it can turn face-down damage cards face-up. His improved grab lets him, when he bites, he can also make a tail attack in his front arc. Unfortunately, this card specifies that tail attack cannot be made with the attack text on an upgrade, so it's not doesn't synergize with Stinger and Deadly Venom at all, which I think is a little disappointing. I also put Momentum on him, which lets him charge 2 instead of 1. He paid 3 extra points for it since he's not a gargoyle. It came with the gargoyle set, which I don't really actually think Momentum is worth 6 points. It's just I just wanted to throw something on this creature to fill out the points. So we'll see if that does anything. Anyway, that's my list, so now let's look at the list that Jeremy chose. So first on Jeremy's list, we've got Galaderos, the Copper Dragon from the starter set, which I have not used in a very long time. Decided I might try trotting him out. All the creatures in this particular match max out at 4 attack dice, so I figured he might be a little safer to come out and play. Although he does have some good defensive abilities. He's got a defensive special ability that gives him +2 defense dice if he does a 4 or 5 maneuver. That can help him a lot. So for upgrades, he's got his Acid Breath, a line breath weapon attack. He's got his Slow Breath, a cone breath weapon attack that prevents targeted enemies from doing a maneuver greater than speed 2, and also gives them -1 defense die. And importantly, you don't actually have to roll the hit with this. You just announce the attack, and then everyone who's in the area takes the effect. So that's a pretty neat ability there. He's got his Trickster upgrade, Copper Dragons only, which if he targets as an action, he can target someone who doesn't have him in their front arc, and he can disable one of that creature's upgrades. That can be pretty handy. And he's got a couple of spells. He's got Charm, which lets you take over an opponent's creature for a turn, possibly make it attack its own creatures, although it gets a sort of what you might call a saving throw against that if you try to make it do that. So it's not guaranteed to succeed. Also give him Feeble Mind, which prevents a target opposing creature from casting spells. Could actually be pretty good against certain matchups. I don't think, not necessarily in this one, but there might be times when I might want to give that spell a try. I haven't really made much use of it. Next, I've got Janek, the adult Brass Dragon, or Yannick. He's got his Flame Breath, again, line breath movement attack. He's got Wing Storm, which is an area effect attack, range 1, does 3 dice penetrating. It disables, I believe. And that was actually originally Parley, but Jeremy pointed out that he couldn't actually target any of the opposing creatures with Parley, except Blackthorn. So it was not very useful at all. Parley is level dependent. So we just switched it out for Wingstorm. He's got Shrewd, which lets him, once per game, lets him look at an opponent's face down dial and then change his own dial. And he's got a Fire Shield, a defensive spell, which damages opponents who melee attack him. And I think it might give him an extra defense die, just in general. No, it does cancel a point of cold damage, but mainly it's the thing of damaging someone who melee attacks you that's important there. Thought I'd give that a try. Bellatorus the Pegasus is in here with Barding, giving him extra armor. Anna Crimson, the rider from the Griffin upgrade, who is a 4 dice attack, but only one range. But it is a pretty good rider. He's got Collision, which means if he does at least a Speed 4 maneuver, his attacks that turn are penetrating. I think he has to discard Collision or possibly disable. I think it's a discard. And finally, I give him Cruelty, which lets him cancel a point of armor when he makes a melee combat attack. It's kind of Barding and Cruelty are upgrades I always like on Bellatorus, and Anna Crimson Collision are upgrades that I thought I'd give a try. And finally, we've got Arnthar Froome, the Paladin. He's got Challenge, which is his standard upgrade to bring force flying creatures to swoop so he can hit them. I tried just out some different things on him. I gave him the Arrow Catching Shield for his defensive upgrade instead of Holy Plate Armor. Or it's been so long since I played, I forgot what all these upgrades are called. But Arrow Catching Shield, +1 defense die versus melee attacks in his front arc, +2 defense dice versus ranged attacks in its arc. I gave him Protection from Evil as his spell, which gives him another defense die and immunity to charm and fear versus evil creatures. So trying a stacking defense dice strategy with this guy, which is different. And finally, for an attacking ability, I tried something different. I gave him this Ring of the Ram, which is like a 3 dice penetrating attack that knocks the creature it hits out of the air if it hits. There's only one problem, which is that it requires a target token to be spent, and Arnthar Froome does not actually have a target on his target action on his bar. So that is turns out to be a wasted upgrade. But I don't think we caught that in time to swap it out for something, and well, Jeremy didn't use it anyway. So those are the lists. They're a little goofy, but I think we learned some interesting things from it. And there's some things that I definitely would give a second look. Some things I wouldn't give a second look. Let's find out what those are and see the game being played. Well, let's look at some gameplay here. With the Wyvern, moving 2 forward. Set these guys up kind of on a slant, just to, I don't know, try to have a few more movement options, but I'm not sure if it's really. Wyvern's dodging. Keep thinking I'll find some sort of deep meaning in this sort of fooling with the setup or the deployment, but I don't know if it's really any better than just setting up straight. I mean, in X-Wing, there's a lot of stuff you can do with changing your deployment, but it doesn't seem as important. Yannick over here has just gone straight forward. He's taking an eyeball. He's taking a concentrate. And Nito Grimm doing a kind of a bank, getting maybe a little more movement than he would have if he'd just gone straight, but he's also sort of facing the edge of the board there, which I didn't quite get everything on camera. he's gonna dodge. It's like I'm keystoning a bit too, or fish-eyeing, whatever they call that. Black Dragon or Umbrellas also doing sort of a bank, ending up slightly facing towards the edge of the map. Just bad judgment of angles on my part. Next we'll do Galaderos over here on the very edge, not quite getting in the camera frame, although you can see her base, his or her. I don't know. And the action is, I think that's a dodge. It's hard to tell so far away from the camera. I have the Paladin to go next. I have initiative this turn, so my Green Dragon will go after their creatures, Jeremy's creatures. It's going to target. No, he's measuring for a challenge actually. Free action. You might as well get a measurement where you can find it. And I think he's okay. He decided to dodge. I went ahead and moved Cloud Gilliamatar forward a little bit, took a charge, and finally we'll do Bellatoris, scooching forward just a bit, and dodge for Bellatoris as well. Got some combat. Green Dragon is going to go ahead and charge, get a little extra movement, and also get into range of Yannick's Flame Breath. I'm a little too used to playing Jay. He always has Fire Breath on his Brass Dragon, but I built that list, and I have Flame Breath, so that's what's going to happen there. Meanwhile, we might have some action over on the far corner here. And it's, in fact, Galaderos is going to go ahead and Acid Breath Nidhogrim. Galaderos has a target token, incidentally, not a dodge. I was wrong about that, as we'll see in just a sec here. We get to roll. We've got 2 eyeballs and a crit, and we'll turn that into 2 crits. And 2 crits and a hit. So dodge is going to take the hit, but we're going to take 2 crits. That is a really good roll. First of many. And the crits are subdued and shattered, so Nidhogrim is going to lose his 1 point of armor, and he's going to lose the ability to do actions on his action bar. He's going to bite. He's using a special ability to convert an eyeball to a hit on a bite, so he's got 3 hits on Galaderos. Galaderos did a 4 this turn, so he's getting extra defense dice. Looks like he turned up 1 dodge on the dice. He's also got 1 armor, so he's taking 1 hit, should be. Taking 1 damage. Actually, hold on, I missed that I went ahead and disabled Primal Hunter, so I turned that dodge into a blank, so that's going to get 2 hits through, and I went ahead and flipped Vicious, discard Vicious to disable a upgrade on Galaderos, and I think I chose to disable Slow Breath, maybe? No, I disabled Charm, I'm sorry. It's off the screen, but I remember I disabled Charm. So now we're just going to have Yannick Flame Breath, Cloud Gilliamatar there, and just inside range 3. That's perfect. Or was that range 4? I think it was range 3. And we've got hit, hit, crit, crit. We got 2 dodges. Looks like it was range 3 after all. So we're dodging the hits and taking 2 crits once again. In probably excellent series of rolls on Jeremy's part. Hamstrung and panicked. It's -1 agility, and then -1 attack and defense dice for Cloud Gilliamatar. As we move into round 2. with 2 crits on 2 of my dragons. That is something you don't see every day. Blackthorn, the cave wyvern, or wyvern. I just cannot decide. Anyway, I'll stick with wyvern. I'll just make a resolution right now. What am I doing? Appear to be making some hand measurements. Target token, I'm going to measure to Bellatorus just to see if I'm within 2. Not at the moment, but he might fly into 2 in a little bit and let me bite him with my wyvern. Alright, we'll have Nidogrim. Doing hard 3, trying to get into the fight over here. And I believe I have a choice of possibly rolling for Subdued, but I'm going to go ahead and activate Stone Skin, put that on him, since I think I might be getting tail whipped or bitten by something this turn. You know, it's not a great upgrade, but, well, I mean, if you're, in theory, if you had, well, I'll just get into that later. Here comes Yannick. He's doing a 4 bank. Fast little dragon. In theory, if you had an evil sorcerer and mirror image and stone skin on you, you could be mirror imaged and stone skinned on the same turn and be pretty tanky against high attackers. Stone skin, of course, pays more dividends when you're fighting guys with 5 primary weapon value. But anyway, looks like we're going to see it. I believe that's a target on Yannick. Yeah, he's measuring the cave wyvern. That's a target on Yannick. And Umberless banking in here. If I had set up straight, it would have been probably better to just keep cruising straight. But since I sort of angled her towards the edge of the board, I had to come back in. Anyway, I have a feeling I'm probably going to get. She's going to concentrate. Probably going to get an attack on the Pegasus this turn from this position is what I'm feeling right now. In any case, looks like we're moving the Cloudy now. Cloggy. She's gonna bump. Got this brass dragon right where I want him. But my action is gonna be flipping panic since I don't really want to carry all those penalties. Would have been nice if I could target or something, but you know, what are you going to do? Anyway, Paladin moving on Thorfroom, banking, and he's going to bump against Umberless there. He's going to challenge Umberless. Umberless will swoop in response. He's set up pretty nicely right in her blind spot on the side there. And he's going to concentrate. So we're moving on to Galaderos again. Also doing a hard 3, following Nidogrim into the main fight. Welcome to on camera Galaderos. There you can see her. Hot on Nidogrim's tail. And he's used Trickster to disable Nidogrim's Cold Breath. And since Nidogrim is a lower level than Galaderos, he can do an action afterwards. So he's doing a target. And Bellatorus is forward. And she'll just go ahead and take a concentrate token from her rider Anna Crimson and start hoofing this dragon. So I think he's going to roll Anna Crimson first, and 4 dice. That means it's the rider. And it looks like we got 4 hits using the concentrate. We've got 1 dodge, We're going to concentrate to 2 dodges. And Umbreless has 2 armor on her, so I think that's going to wipe the slate clean, unless one of those is a crit, and I don't know about it, but I think that's, I think I'm, yeah, okay. Thought I put a damage on her for a sec, but looks like not. And it looks like we got a hit and crit, and crits going through. A lot of crits on that side of the table. Just crits everywhere. Crits a poppin', as they would say in old Broadway. And what we're moving on to now is Galaderos biting Needhogrim in the tail. Is that, well, 2 hits? Is that seriously another crit? Looks like I'm dodging a hit and taking a hit and a crit here. That is excellent. Needhogrim does have 5 health, so dazed is what that is. So no actions at all. It's a rough day for this dragon over here. It's rare that you take 3 crits and still live to haul them around. Anyway, we're moving on to the Paladin attacking Umbreless. And we're getting, it's like 2 hits. He's 3 hits. All right, looks like everything's bouncing off. Or we dodge 1 and then the other 2 bounce off armor. So lucky escape for Umbreless. Good thing this Paladin doesn't have the adamantium lance like he really should. Adamantine lance, not adamantium lance. He's not Wolverine. Anyway. Easy to make that mistake, though. Very similar words. And what we're moving on to now is Cloggy poison breathing. It's going to get the Wyvern, but, collateral damage. Actually, the Wyvern dodges out of the way of his 1 hit. As always, I am lucky on those. And nothing on Yannick, though. So usually my play is to miss my own creature and hit the other creature, but in this case I just missed everybody. So moving on to Umbreless, who's going to go ahead and bite the Pegasus. Thought about Shadow Breathing. 2 crits, though. Really could have converted that eyeball, too, if I had still had one. He had a dice bounce. Looked like one of them was going to come up a dodge, but it didn't. The crits. One of the crits is going to be. Let's see. We've got exhausted, and I believe the other one, if I'm not mistaken, stunned. Exhausted and stunned. Perfect combination. We're doing Yannick tail whipping the Wyvern. 4 dice, making him the powerhouse on this board. It's going to spend his target. That's we've got what is that? 3 hits and a crit. Armor's blocking 1, so 2 hits and a crit. Just all my creatures are going to critical condition in this turn. It's pretty disastrous. But the Wyvern, I forget what the crit was, but it clearly not stunned since he's attacking the Pegasus. Spinning his target, and we've got that was a hit. That was 2 hits and a crit on this Pegasus, and we've got 2 dodges. He's going to take the crit, which is going to be crushed, I believe, from memory, and he's going to have to make a die roll. That's the kill on the Pegasus. Jeremy commented that he was very surprised to see the Pegasus be the first creature to go in this matchup, and I was surprised as well. And he was very dodgy and well armored, highest level creature, but that's how the dice shook out. Moving on to round 3. Wyvern doing a hard right, just looking for targets. not really well positioned. He's going to swoop just in case. Maybe this paladin will find himself in my tail arc, although it's not really likely. And he'll go ahead and target, I believe. I took a measurement to Yannick, who is obviously within 4. Technically, I could have measured just to see, exactly how close he was, but I don't really think he's going to be. Yeah, he's leaving right now, so I'm not going to get to bite that guy. Doing a 4 turnaround. And exhausted. Umbreless, banking to follow Blackthorn into the center there. And staying swooping, target, again, measuring to the paladin, we expect to. Well within 4. And who we expect to be about right there. And concentrate for the paladin. And oh, right. Should have moved Nidogrim earlier. I just forgot. He's like he's clearing out of the way of this fight a little bit. I'm not sure what my plan was, but I think I was a little frustrated with his positioning and the fact that he's almost dead. Of course, all my creatures are almost dead. I was hoping for Nidogrim to. I forgot to take an action, or no, I rolled for. No, I'm dazed, so I can't take an action. Okay, that sorts him out. And basically, I think I was just trying to avoid putting those critical effects down. Avoid having Nidogrim just go down in one round. It's going to pay off eventually. Meanwhile, Galaderos is moving into the center here. Sorry, dodge token. Okay. And Cloud Yilimatar is going to bump. And our action will be a concentrate token, which of course, as previously discussed, is illegal, but, well, there you go. Didn't realize that till after the game. What that roll was for. Oh, deep wound on. I had to roll the deep wound on the cave wyvern to see if he killed himself through overexertion. He thankfully survived. I'm rolling lightning bolt, 3 blanks, which is karmically appropriate since I could only cast that lightning bolt illegally. And Galaderos is slow breathing my entire army almost. It's a good thing I got all 3 of those slow breath tokens out. That is value for investment. Now we're doing Umbreless Tail Whipping the Paladin. We've got 3 hits. We got 1 dodge. He's going to take 1 hit. Yeah. He had 1 armor. Oh, I'm pointing out that he could choose to spend a concentrate if. Well, we're. Oh, yeah, I resolved Umbreless in the wrong order. The Paladin's supposed to go before Umbreless. So we're sort of negotiating what exactly we're going to do about this concentrate token. I basically said, well, go ahead and make your attack, and if you don't have a need to use the concentrate on the attack, then, go ahead and use it on the defense. And he's going to re-roll his attack roll using Onthar's special ability, and it's getting nothing. And he's going to decide to go ahead yeah, retroactively use that, concentrate on the defense roll, since so we did that in the wrong order. So the situation more or less rectified there. And I'm going to try to see if we've got a tail whip from Nilogrim to Galaderos. It could be that I think I'm barely in range too. Yeah, one hit. That's not likely to get through. Yeah, he is fine. I think I did sort of foresee that there might be a tail whip there. Yannick's too far out to have an attack, and Blackthorn is not really in a position to attack, I don't think. Well, we're going to measure, see if I've got this range too. I personally don't think I had it, Jeremy. We're going to the precision implements here. So we're looking at, Jeremy called it in, so I made the attack. This is, sometimes it's, have a nostalgia for hexagons, hexes and spaces. You just count everything. Hit, crit. Well, that's a pretty good roll on the dragon. Dodge, though. Pretty good roll in return. Again, possibly karma for a hit that I didn't necessarily think was there. But Blackthorn in round 4 can start off and pop right into this pocket there. Doing a 2 bank, he could only do, that was the maximum speed he could do because of that crit. And he's going to go ahead and flip his deep wound so we don't have to deal with accidentally killing ourselves. Going to do Nidogrim there. And another hard 3, as you might expect. I was worried about whether I was going to be able to maybe make that 4 turnaround. I think it's clear now that I see it from the camera's eye view that I did not have room to do a 4 turnaround there, and I was just rolling for subdued, and got a blank, so wasn't able to do anything there. Now I've got Yannick pushing into this pile up in the middle of the board here. I think that's a 3-4. He's got a green 3 forward, which is it's actually kind of intriguing. It's a nice dial, as I've commented before, and that action is probably a target. It's hidden behind him, so I'm not totally sure. Been fairly good about that, but I kind of let that one slip. There's a swoop from Blackthorn, moving that out of the way. And, what's her face continuing? Sorry, Umbrella's continuing to circle into the middle, following Blackthorn. And I'm just going to go ahead and concentrate. And we'll move on to Cloggy. Jeremy thought she had nowhere to go, but I've got a red 1 backup on this dragon. Haha. That'll show you. This is really not a very impressive dragon. I've already talked about, how I feel about it. There's a young green dragon coming out at some point, and I really do hope there's a good upgrade for the young. An upgrade in the young green package whenever it does come out that makes Cloggy a little better, maybe more playable. Be nice. Anyway, the Paladin has moved up and challenged, and I've sort of thought about what I want to do with this dragon. And I end up swooping in response to the challenge. I was just trying it out to see if there was any possible advantage to be gained from landing, but I don't really think there is. I think the major breath weapon issues are cleared. I think I was maybe hoping that I could, I don't know. Anyway, Galaderos doing her 4 turnaround. His or her, I don't know. I think it's a his. I think OS is a male ending in Greek, assuming that's the criterion. Anyway. And that's exhaustion for Galaderos. So
Galaderos actually does have his Acid Breath back online, however, so he's going to Acid Breath both of these creatures. That's why I should have landed, but I just didn't foresee that movement right there. It kind of took me by surprise for some reason. I don't know. In this game, I'm really bad at anticipating turnarounds for some reason. Looks like we've got a say we get a crit going through on Umberless, and I think that was for the kill. We got a hit going through on. I've lost track of what happened. All I remember is that both of these creatures got killed. I do know that. Well, I guess the Wyvern probably got killed there, and the Paladin is going to go ahead and kill Umberless with this attack. Sorry, I kind of lost track of what happened with all those Acid Breath attack rolls and defense rolls, but anyway. Paladin charging, going to go ahead and take 2 hits and a crit. And that's it's going to get a crit on Umberless. I think that was the kill. Don't know offhand what the crit is. Let's see if I end up showing that to the camera or not. It's probably not necessary if I didn't show it. Cloggy biting Yannick, hitting the crit. That's the best thing she's done today, and he's going to have to take the crit. And don't know if we'll see that one either. I think it might have been subdued or panicked. And we're gonna Shadow Breath, looks like, from Umberless, before she leaves the scene. And I think we've got 2 hits. Yep, he's got a dodge, but he's going to take 1 hit from that Shadow Breath. Not really going to roll on my my Wyvern since he's already dead. And we're going to go ahead and necrotically oppress Yannick's Flame Breath to get that out of my hair. Even though there's nothing he can Flame Breath this turn that isn't already dead, effectively. But now we're down to Yannick. He is going to use his Wingstorm. As previously mentioned, that's actually the Harley card, Wingstorm. Last minute sub in, didn't pull the card. We just hopefully remember what it does. Hitting a crit. Blank for Cloggy. That is going to be her dead. And it is just a parade of destruction for my team this turn. And we're going to try to see if Wyvern maybe has range 2 to the Paladin. Well, I don't think I even remembered to swoop with him anyway, so. Dead, and dead. However, I have 1 dragon left, and he is not going to give up. So we'll have Yannick swoop in with it's either a 3 or a 4 bank. Once again, I'm liking his speed, speed and maneuverability. It's a nice agile dragon. He's going to target Nidogrim there. Nidogrim doing a R3. I believe this is the 3rd in a row, one direction or another, and still subdued, but he can go ahead and he can't do actions on his action bar, but he can re-enable his Cold Breath, which is what he's going to do. Paladin coming in. He's going to challenge. I'm going to go ahead and thinking about this. And I decided to land just to get on the same play. Well, I mean, there's no breath weapon coming this turn, I don't think, but just to get on the same play level as the Paladin. The Paladin's just gonna bump cast protection from evil. And Galaderos coming in over here. And looks like re-enabling Trickster, I believe, was her action. Gonna have now the Paladin swing on Nidogrim there. He's got a. He's gonna go ahead and roll his roll again, take an exhaustion token. He had one hit. I got one dodge. I did need the dodge because I've got that shattered crit on me. That hit could have gone through. But in any case, Nidogrim is now going to Cold Breath the air. So he's going to get both Galaderos and Yannick. And we've got 3 hits and a crit on Galaderos. So, which I believe is... He's going to check the crit. No, sorry, that's on Yannick. And we're rolling on Galaderos. 2 hits and a crit on Galaderos. Not sure if I got stunned on Yannick. Oh, sorry, post-morteming this a little. I now remember I landed to avoid a bite from Yannick since he was in the air, even though he does have his Flame Breath disabled. Anyway, Galaderos could get out of this, but nope. That's going to be kill on both of these dragons. I knew you could do it, Nidogrim. I always believed me. That's not actually true, but I am glad he pulled through in a pinch. He definitely pulled his weight this game, and then some. But we're on to round 6. I think I did maybe a 2 forward bank, but I've got to do an overrun check to get through this Paladin, and he stops me there with a better overrun roll. Jeremy was disappointed, but I'm not sure why. I think he's actually got me where he wants me. I think he was thinking maybe he could, if I had passed through, he could escape range of a tail whip. And I finally got that subdued crit flipped over. Paladin's going to do a green maneuver. Anyway, I think he's doing fine. He's going to go ahead and do his action. And he declared a charge. Just didn't put the token down because he, it's pretty clear what's happening. 3 hits. That is the end of Nidogrim. But I'm going to go ahead and get my bite back and see if I can do anything to this guy. Hitting a crit. Can't kill him. But just for spite, he's going to roll his extra defense dice from protection from evil and arrow catching shield and get away without a bit of damage on him. That was so that's the game. It was actually pretty fun. It was nice to see some different creatures out. Gave me some ideas about how some creatures that I may have overlooked or kind of avoided using might actually be interesting and fun for me to use. So I think it was overall a fun and instructive game for me, and hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.